Perfection is something we chase in sports, knowing how rarely it's ever truly achieved. It demands discipline, sacrifice, and a level of trust that leaves no margin for error. 50 years ago, the Indiana Hoosiers did more than chase it. There was pressure, there were expectations night after night after night. There were close calls along the way, but the Hoosiers always found a way. It was a season that's never been matched.
You start something, you don't think that you're going to be talking about it 50 years later.
It's an honor that our team is still remembered.
Every day, we talked about perfection.
Coach Knight, he demanded excellence.
Coaches aren't perfect, players aren't perfect.
We found perfection by working together as a team with one purpose in mind, and that was to be champions.
I was blessed to be a part of the team that was very successful.
Ladies and gentlemen, Indiana Hoosiers.
I can remember as a young coach thinking to myself that I hope there is a time that comes when I have a chance to coach a team that would be capable of winning the NCAA championship. Over all of these years and all of the different teams, that team may be the best team that ever played college basketball. And that's what I want them to remember themselves as.
I don't know about you guys, but I see that tape recorder and it just almost gives me chills.
I think we all set out to be champions and win as many games as we can, but to say that you're one of the undefeated teams in the history of college basketball, to be a part of that group, yeah, I mean, that's pretty special, yeah.
I think the fans have talked about it more than, I mean, we don't celebrate like the Dolphins.
You know, it's not ours to hold, you know, like we own it. We did what we did. And if another team comes and does it, it's an honor, really, what we've done. But
So what you're saying is every team that's undefeated every year, you're rooting for those teams.
I didn't say I'm rooting for them. I didn't say I'm rooting for every team. Please, Kersey, put words in my mouth.
I think we're the greatest. I just feel we have the rest of our lives to enjoy that.
You know, the question I have, why didn't Coach Knight say how good we were? Now we're hearing, you know, him say that.
You know, people think his reputation that he's going to be barking all the time. Did he bark? Was that part of it? Yeah, he barked at times, but it's teaching 87% and it's encouraging 12%, and then he's barking 5%. But I mean, when he barks, he's a good barker. You know, that's
the percentage is higher on some of us. I think it's cool to hear the tape of him showing love. That's what that is.
Coach Knight would always bring in tape-recorded messages from former players and coaches.
He'd bring out Pete Newell, Wayne Embry, John Havlicek. These are guys that are icons in the game.
It would be dead silence because we were on every word those guys said.
He brought those tapes in there for a reason, and it was something he wanted us to hear.
He would bring in opportunity to listen to true champions.
I didn't realize it when I was here, man, what Coach was doing. He was making sure we understood what winning was all about.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Pete Newell was big with those tapes. He said there's two types of players that chase credit and players that chase the value of the team.
Imagine what you can accomplish if you don't worry about who gets the credit.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that was a great message from him. And I think that's why we were pretty successful.
Kentucky leads 92-88. Wilkerson throwing. Jump shot good. 5 seconds to go.
A lot of people don't remember, but in '75, we only lost one game.
Benson pulls it off, but he can't get it away. It's over, and Kentucky upsets Indiana 92-90.
It was a good game. Scott May had broken his arm, but they beat us. We was 31-1.
We knew, having lost that game, if you're not prepared to make whatever sacrifice you need in order to win every possession, then you can get beaten.
It was like a gut punch, and we held on to that for several months, as did Coach.
Going into the next season, the day before our first practice, I said, boys, winning the NCAA championship is not good enough. This team has the ability, the rare ability to go through this season totally undefeated. That's the only thing there is out there for you, an undefeated season.
Right before we started practice, he brought Quinn and I into his office. Says, hey, we got a chance to play the defending champions. And we were both, yeah, let's do it. And so we all agreed to play UCLA because we didn't want to duck anybody. We wanted to make sure that everybody knew that the team that we had the year before was no fluke, that we were the real deal.
It was so cool to go out and beat those guys by 20 points.
From that moment on, it was just game by game, practice by practice. We didn't care who we played.
We executed our game plan, no matter what the score was or whether we were playing home or away. You know, it didn't matter.
Tell you what, we're this close to blowing the undefeated season if it wasn't for this guy on a rebound right at the end against Michigan and Benny putting it in.
Jump shot in the air. Doesn't fall. Cruz tips it up. Tip up again. And one in.
He got the rebound, but he didn't bring it down. It was still in the air. He threw it back up. And that was so incredible.
Indiana's had it. They're going to overtime.
I mean, if he'd have brought it down, the game's over.
What a ball there. Indiana ready to do battle in the NCAA Mideast region. An entire season of waiting to get another shot at it.
Going into the tournament in 76, the only thing that mattered was the next opponent.
We just kept winning, and we found ourselves in the national championship game.
Sellout crowd of over 17,000. Indiana trying to cap off an undefeated season. In for a real tussle tonight.
You know, all the talk was he might be able to beat Michigan twice, but you'll never beat him 3 times.
And it was, okay, we got to go out here and take care of business. But we were so confident. And it wasn't arrogance. It was just confidence.
We were confident until 2 minutes into the game and you went down.
Brody to the twirler. Wayman Cook.
Uh-oh, problem. There's an injured Hoosier, and that could be a very serious loss. It is Bobby Wilkerson.
When Wayman hit him in the head, I mean, you could hear it. Then to see him being carried off of the stretcher.
It was my turnover.
Oh.
I felt the weight of everything on my shoulders. I was like, damn, here we go again. One of our best players gets hurt.
What are we going
The
to do about it?
championship on the line.
We went in at the half of that game 6 points behind. I didn't always go in with the softest tone of voice when we weren't playing really well, but this time I did. I went in and I said, boys, if that's the way you want to end the season, you'll be the guys doing it.
His halftime, how he handled it, for me, was perfect. I think that gave us the lift that we needed to go out and play in the second half the way we
Took a lot of pressure off of us.
It certainly did, yeah. And then we went out and we just played the second half that was unbelievable.
And Benson flips it to Bucker underneath, and he hits it. It was a shot by Abernathy. Scott May underneath. Oh, whoa, look at that shot. Woo! They smell the national crown now.
We came out and probably played the most flawless game of basketball that we've ever played. We scored 57 points in the second half, the most in a championship game. I remember right as the game was coming to an end, Quinn being called off the floor. Coach and I called him off the floor, and he was doing a jig.
Yes, looks like they're doing a jig on the floor. He's dancing up and down, doing a little dance.
When I came off the floor, there's one thing I did, and that was put my arms up like this, number one, and thanking God that we had accomplished winning the national championship in an undefeated style.
Indiana's number one. They've won it. They're the national champion for 1976, 86 to 68. The Hoosiers have won it all.
Coach Knight said, you've given people in the state of Indiana something you'll never understand. They had something to be very proud of, and for that, I'm extraordinarily grateful.
I tell my nephews and my family that I played with the greatest coach that ever coached me, and I played on the greatest team that the country will ever see.
"32 wins in a row.
There's nothing like the family we got in Bloomington. There's nothing like it.
What I get a kick out of is when I see you guys and I look into your eyes and you can feel, hey, we did it. You know what I'm saying? We did it. We beat their ass.
Yeah.
And for me, that's always been a great thing.
It's been 50 years and we have 5 of us here. We're brothers. I mean, we're brothers for life. And it's cool to be able to look back and know we have each other.
That one season was a unique thing. I will always be eternally grateful that they could say to themselves and to each other, damn, if he thinks we can win the national championship, then we damn sure can. And they did.
And earlier tonight, members of that team from 1976 arriving here at Lucas Oil Stadium. 50 years ago.
Wow.
Back then, Chuck was 13, Clark was 14, Kenny was 11, Bruce, you were 16, so you were the elder statesman at that time. So, what do you remember about that as a 16-year-old, about that perfect season?
Well, it starts with remembering Coach Knight and his discipline. But when you think about perfection, you think about not wasting any possessions. You think about Bob Knight, the professor, the teacher, the disciplinarian, and how did he do it? With motion offense. No set plays, no analytics, practices being harder than games, and a belief in his team that they could actually pull off perfection. Beautiful.
And
that's what I remember.
You know, you talk about that 57-point second half. This underdog points out, hey, no 3-point shot there.
Yeah,
either.
that's exactly
57
right.
points without the 3.
I was a 14-year-old growing up in northeastern Ohio, Cleveland native. Phil Hubbard was a freshman on that team. I remember being crestfallen because I was pulling for Michigan because he was a northeastern Ohio guy from Canton. But over the years, in my association with the Pacers for 32 years as a player, broadcaster, and front office employee, I got a chance to interact with pretty much all of those guys. Was a teammate with Quinn Buckner. Their class, their competitiveness, their greatness as a team became more etched in the fabric of my journey through associating with them after the fact. But I was disappointed that Michigan came up short at that time in that game.
Kenny, you're 11 years old at the time.
11 years old, Bob Knight scared me. He reminded me of those coaches in my neighborhood that I didn't want to play for because they screamed at me a lot. But he, again, was a perfectionist. But I also want to point out, and you guys might know even better, is there a father and son tandem that won the MG? Because Scott May won the NCAA championship,
That's right.
and his son, Sean May, won it with UNC. Is there another father-son? So you talk about taking a legacy of Coach Knight, you talk about winning and bringing it to your son and giving that information to him, and then he went to national championship as well. That is unbelievable.
Well, I saw Shaq just walked in. I'm willing to bet all my money against all his money. He got no damn meaning what crestfallen means. I'm willing to go out on it. I'm willing to bet it all right now.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, but Bruce, Clark, and Kenny and myself, as players and coaches, to go undefeated with sprained ankles, bad backs, and sometimes you just don't have it for every game. Like sometimes, in the NBA, I mean, that's obviously college, but there's times you don't really feel like playing. And there's some times, Bruce, you probably like, my team don't have it tonight. But to give those players and Coach Knight credit for, man, that is hard. People giving Miami, Ohio a hard time when they all said that. And I said, man, they won 31 games in a row. Because, Ernie, you don't feel like playing that many games. And Bruce, as a coach,
one day somebody has a stomachache.
Yeah, somebody got the flu, Ernie.
Somebody's got
And some days you just don't feel like playing. My team don't have the energy level. But to be able to do that, you take your hat off to those players and Coach Knight.
He put that in front of them at the beginning of that season.
And
that is crazy.
That's amazing.
He said, this is the only thing that I think you guys should be satisfied with.
Right.
Not winning the
a
national championship.
No.
Being undefeated.
Yeah,
but they lost. They lost one game the year before. So
That
they knew
Bruce,
what that felt
That's
like.
right.
Bruce,
That's right.
what's really crazy about that stat you just said, I didn't even realize they had lost one game that year before.
He thought that was, and I've heard Coach Knight talk about that being his best team, he thought. And then they obviously came back
Now the question
validated
is,
it.
could it happen again?
Never.
And here's why I don't know that it will. Okay, there's more parity than there's ever been before. The expansion of the tournament, you got to win more games. This thing lasted for 50 years.
Yep.
It's got a chance to last another 50.
You know, I talked to
Because
Quinn.
you're not going to have that many players stay in school long enough to win, to go undefeated. I mean, because, like, it's hard to you get a couple of young kids, it's going to be hard to go undefeated.
Never say never. I thought I would never see a 16 beat a 1 in this tournament. It's happened twice. I just say never say never.
I talked to Quinn Buckner today. A couple of things that he remembers from that team. Number one, seeing Bob Knight smile.
Wow.
at the trophy presentation.
Yeah.
And also, he was as proud of the fact that they went 2 years back to back without losing the game in the Big Ten.